Hello everyone, Tesaks here, and welcome to my devlog. And last week I said I want to finish what I started and implement basic skin into Games Defenders, which is match-free game with RPG and tower defense elements I am working on right now, and maybe add some visual stuff later on. So let me start with this. I basically spent the whole Monday and Tuesday programming and reworking combat weapon detection and creating weapon swap logic. That proved to be far greater challenge, mainly because I had to rework a little bit of older scripts as well, as I needed to add one more weapon slot. Now every hero have 4 weapon slots, but can carry only up to 3 weapons. This is to allow heroes, for example, to dual wield swords in combination with bow. If he needs to draw the bow, he'll put both swords into backup slots and use both active slots, basically hands, for the bow. I know it sounds rather easy, but to create the logic for this and make it work somehow took me more effort than I am willing to admit. And after that, the game was throwing some exceptions, so I couldn't even test it properly. But at least I knew that heroes are now capable of ranged combat, because that was finished and it was working before I messed this up. Then came Wednesday, and I was mentally exhausted, and I didn't felt like I wanna be working on Games Defenders. Also, I am spending all day at home, which means I have to cook some meals. But it's tedious process to come up with the ideas for the meals all the time, so I created an app that made the decision for me. Meet PickeyBoi. This is Android/PC app I created in 8 hours. It allows me to create custom list of items, each item have name and description, and thus I can use it to store all my meals ideas. Then I can let the app randomly pick one item from the whole list. This sounds like an app that should take less than an hour to develop, until you realize that the whole logic behind the list and stuff is kinda complicated, and it's not that easy to save either. I'm gonna admit, I had to rework portion of this at one point because I decided to use custom class to save the info of the list, which I couldn't save later on with my trusted data to JSON method, and that costed me like an extra hour. I'm certain that if I gave it more time, I would make it work even with the custom class, which would be easier in the long run, but I wanted to finish this up under 8 hours. Because of that time limit, there are actually 2 features that I didn't finish. Name and description of the existing list can't be edited, and list can't be deleted. I created functions for this, but yeah, I will fix this issue eventually and release it on my itch.io page. But in the end, for what I wanted to do with this, it's pretty much working. And my intention wasn't just make a worse version of app that probably already exists, but I wanted to experiment with dynamic way of saving stuff without using database. So far I've been only using static way of saving stuff. I have no idea if my terminology is on point. Basically I wanted to save stuff with C# into JSON using Unity's player prefs without using specific variable for each save. I also learned 1 or 2 things, and that was the goal of this little project right here. Besides just making it easier for me to decide what to cook, of course. But now it's Thursday, so back to Games Defenders. Finishing what I started because I realized that by changing weapon script to make it work for heroes, I messed up foes. Once fixed, I decided to rework every single weapon prefab as it didn't fit it perfectly. And in the process I realized I am actually using 2 sets of prefabs. One for heroes and one for foes. Unnecessary, so I deleted the whole set of prefabs for heroes and instead made one that fits them all. I also fixed all the exceptions, so now I can test the game again and the swap function doesn't work. I tried to fix it somehow, but I ended up working with animations and fixing more mess I created previously. Seriously, how is it even possible that I am still fixing something all the time? It almost seems like I am not a programmer at all. Oh yeah, I am not. Anyway, it's Friday already somehow, and the swap function seems to be working, but it is getting interrupted by animation. At least that's what it seems like. I didn't want to touch on animations at all until beta phase, but I decided to mess with it a little bit. Couldn't fix it quickly, and I decided, okay, I've been scripting for almost 35 hours at this week. My brain is not working properly at this point. Let's at least make some skins. So I opened Pixel Edit and started drawing skin for Inichen, the first hero whose specialization will be magic. I spent the rest of the day creating templates for hero skins and actually drawing skin I liked. Although I realized that because I am using the default character for Inichen as well, she now looks more like overgrown Dwarven Crossdresser than Elven Mage. So that's something I will have to fix eventually. Besides that, I edited one of the existing foe skins to fit as Nande's default skin. That's gonna change in the future as well, but I wanted to have skin on both heroes. By the way, Nande is the second hero who is specializing in melee combat. Then I went back into Visual Studio to create script to take care of the skins dynamically, and for the sake of reasonable length of this video, let's say it just worked straight away. It didn't, but it did. Through the week I did more small stuff like improving range combat detection, ability to visualize, show and hide detection of combat, and other small details, but I don't wanna ramble too much, so let's move into the weekend. I was pumped to finish PickeyBoi and maybe fix the weapon swap issue in Games Defenders on Saturday, but I was reminded that I haven't been spending enough time with my family and dog, so instead we went for a day-long trip, which was kinda disaster, but it at least helped me to clear my mind. And on Sunday I spent all day working on household stuff I've been postponing for the whole week. And because through the week everything was relatively smooth and calm, my car decided to break a little bit. Nothing major, only life quality stuff, and I've been thinking about making some car related content on my personal channel, mainly because I like cars. If it's gonna happen, it will be uploaded on that channel, so if that's something you would like to see, there is a link to my personal channel right here. Alternatively, you can find it in the description of this YouTube channel. Anyway, after all, I think I didn't really finish all my goals, but I did great progress either way, and that's what matters in biggish projects. My goals for this week are to fix weapon swap for heroes and create skin for Nande. With all that done, I'll be able to focus on magic combat, and if I somehow manage to finish all that, I'll probably finally do some polishing and visuals for spells. And one last thing, I created PickeyBoi in one day, and I might spend another half a day on it to address all the missing stuff and polish it a little bit. Here is my challenge to you guys. As a programming exercise, make some quick and easy app that will make your day-to-day life easier. It doesn't need to be anything complicated, and the goal should be to just experiment with stuff you are not comfortable with and hopefully learn a thing or two. Let me know in the comments what you decided to make, and I will ask you about it next week. Anyway, time to end this video. All the usual links to my released games, Facebook page, Instagram and Discord server are in the description. Be sure to check these out to join me on my game dev journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also let me know what your goals are for this week and whether or not you finished all your last week goals. Thank you very much for watching, and until next Monday, see ya!